This modern Cob Home video caught my attention. I'm going to show you some clips, and I hope you gain some valuable tips and inspiration. The part where they talk about the water usage, recycling it, and using gray water really made sense to me, and how they use the plants outside. So really there's no waste in the water, and I believe they said they filtered it about 4 times, but the fact that the water was completely filtered and drinkable, pure after the process. So you can go back in the video and see where they talk about that. Enjoy.
Your hands, it's a pretty amazing feeling to not just build but sculpt a house. I have a diploma in architectural technology. It was very helpful with designing this building and getting it approved, because of course we had to have a lot of interactions with the local building authorities.
The majority of the house is built by myself and Tanya. We also had a carpenter that worked with, and so Tanya, when designing it, she wanted to be very sort of open plan, open feel. And here we have the truth window. So this is a structural cob house. The walls are 2 feet thick, and this is what's behind the nice finished plaster of the wall. So just a mixture of sand, clay, straw, water in a certain ratio. And it gives, this sort of concrete cast iron sink that someone was trying to get rid of. And this sat on our balcony for probably a year or two before we actually, so they give off a ton of heat, which is great, as long as you are operating it the right way. And the wall here that faces the fireplace is rammed earth. So this is about 6 inches of rammed earth as well. So we wanted just to play around with different building styles where we could, and this is one example. I think it turned out well, kind of as a feature wall for the fire.
It's really just an extension of the wall, so it's all integrated with the wall. It's all one piece. We just added a couple coats of linseed oil to it, and that helps harden the plaster during earthquakes. Now we're in the west bedroom. We separated the bedroom, let in some brighter light and warmth on the dark floors to help heat it up a little bit in the wintertime. And then the windows are also all operable.
System, which we always knew was a little underpowered in terms of keeping a house like this running full-time. With any kind of off-grid technology, you always want to have a backup. So we have a backup generator that sits outside. So you can see in the walls here, this is the raw cob, and you can see here the layers, and this is, you can tell this is a day where we went about 6 inches. And with this house, because it's structural cob, there was a whole series of extra airplane cables are attached to our concrete foundation, and then there's a wood plate that circles the entire exterior wall of the house, and they're attached to those as well.
Black water. We have a septic tank in place which separates the solids, but instead of doing just a leach field, which is pretty common when you're off grid, we have the constructed wetland, which is basically a giant pond liner that was sized to meet the needs of this house, and it's filled with organic matter and wetlands plants, and the plants are what purifies the water. So when all that gray and black water goes into there, the roots of the plants draw it up and they naturally purify it, so that by the time any water might spill over the edges of the pond liner, it meets all water quality standards. And it's a completely passive system. It just is gravity fed. There's no pumps or power needed whatsoever. And we've never had a problem with it. It's a beautifully simple way to treat your wastewater.
The walls of this house are 2 feet thick. Cob gives you an R value of about 1. With a thermal mass house, when it's cold outside, that coal is constantly pushing into that wall. And so you then have the inside of that wall is warm, and they're constantly at battle. The challenge with that is it takes a lot of energy to heat up that wall because it is this huge mass.
Building with cob definitely taught us a lot. We were a little bit surprised by some of the challenges that we encountered. One of them was just how much heavy labor it is. Cob is a really heavy material, and to be lifting it and sculpting it all day long is exhausting. And it can be stressful. This part of the world, it rains a lot. And in the Cob doesn't do well in the rain until the roof is on. So it can be really stressful trying to keep a Cob structure dry during rain. All those challenges I don't think we really foresaw, and they definitely add to the stress of the building. As beautiful as it is, there were definitely a number of downsides that we didn't see coming.
The process for us was very much a labor of love, and it was a super intense time, but we were very proud of what we did here.